I've been thinking a lot about this, but I feel like I have a just primal fear against being cringe, which, I mean, I guess everybody does. That's like one of the most human feelings foundationally, right? Everybody says that. It's not exactly a big revelation to say that you feel fear of being cringe or whatever. But the funny part, or I guess not funny, but the really annoying part is that anything worth doing is going to forcibly make you seem cringe, at least at the beginning. Especially if you're trying to do something like YouTube, which is what I'm trying to do right now. So that fear against being cringe is actively working against my best interests. It really is, bro. I have like 2 videos that I've recorded. Actually, scratch that, bro. I think since my last video, I have made at least like 4 recordings, but I never ended up editing them and publishing them. Why do I say publish? That's weird. I never ended up posting them because I felt that I sounded cringe in them. And to be fair, in 2 of them I recorded them in my car because my old microphone was fucked, and now I have this new microphone which obviously sounds much better, so I'm probably just going to re-record those and still post them. But the point remains the same. My fear of being cringe or seeming weird or just, I don't know, just not making an amazing video or whatever stopped me from posting them. And which means that the fear of cringe, it has literally directly impacted me not chasing my goals. And this happens to everyone, I think, or most people, and it happens in basically every area of life. Like, I know so many dudes who don't want to go to the gym because they're scared of appearing cringe and stuff. Like, I never thought that, but it's something that people feel, right? It's like one of the most common reasons for why people will say they don't go to the gym or whatever. So it's not just YouTube, right? Maybe you're like trying to start a business or some shit. Most people, they're scared of appearing cringe and failing. It's just a fear of failure. That's what it is. A fear of cringe is a fear of failure at the end of the day. We're all just scared of failing, and the failure is the cringe. It's like the failure is what makes other people cringe or whatever. And cringe, the more I say it, the more it loses its meaning, and it's just such a weird fucking word. So I don't know. Cringe. Anyways, I'm making this video because I have to just lock the fuck in and stop caring about whether or not I'm cringe. I don't know, might make like a weird noise like there it is. There we go. That's the weird noise for today's video. Just have to be comfortable with not being cringe. Have to be. And you know, the funny part is, like, you don't, like, nobody, like, my face isn't even on this video. My face isn't on this video. My name isn't on this video. It's a regular, you know, COD plays in the background while a guy talks about some random shit type of video, and I'm still letting cringe control it. So that's just fucking bad. So really gotta lock in on not letting that control me anymore. And you do too, probably, if you're watching this video, man. If you have a goal that you want to do, accomplish, and you haven't been working towards it because you're afraid of looking cringe, you're afraid of failure, bro. I don't know. It's obviously easier said than done. I haven't figured it out yet myself, so I can't like give some like concrete advice, but all I would say is just do the thing, just take the risk. At the end of the day, you're gonna regret a lot more not doing the thing or not trying the thing because you're scared of being cringe than you would doing the thing and being cringe, right? Like right now, I'm 20 years old and I'm thinking to myself, I've wanted to do YouTube since I was so much younger. Had I started even like 2 years ago when I was 18, I would be in such a better spot than I am right now. So much better. Like, I'd be ahead, right? I'd be ahead. This isn't like one of those things where I one day just randomly decided I wanted to be a YouTuber. This is something that I've wanted to do for years. Literally for as long as I have memory. Well, maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but for as long as, you know, YouTube was a big thing, right? As long as I was probably like 8 years old, I've wanted to be a YouTuber, or at least do YouTube on some level. And I didn't do it before because I was scared of being cringe. And you probably have the same thing, right? Maybe you don't want to go to the gym because you're scared of looking cringe, and it's probably been years and you've just been thinking to yourself, shit, I could have an amazing physique by now if I wasn't scared of being cringe. Or maybe you're scared of starting a business and you think to yourself, maybe I could be fucking loaded right now or whatever had I not been scared of being cringe at the beginning. The fear of being cringe will literally steal your life away. And everybody that you admire, everybody that you want to be like, did not let cringe stop them from chasing their dreams, right? If you want to be a YouTuber, I don't know, PewDiePie, Markiplier, and Jacksepticeye did not let being cringe stop them from chasing their dreams, right? Every dude you know who used to be really fucking skinny or really fucking fat and then went to the gym and ended up having a crazy physique did not let being cringe stop them from chasing that goal, right? If you want a girlfriend but you don't have a girlfriend, every guy who has a girlfriend did not let being cringe stop them from getting a girlfriend. I can personally attest to that. I have a girlfriend. I was super cringe before we got together. Don't know how I got her, right? I did not let that stop me. I think people also don't let cringe control them in different areas of life. So I'm very grateful that for me, the only area where cringe has so far controlled me is just in my like professional is a weird word, just in my goals, my ambitions. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, it controls them in a lot of more areas. That might be you, right? Another example for like, you know, your favorite, like if you want to be a musician or something, your favorite musician or your favorite actor or whatever, chances are they did not let cringe stop them from doing the thing, right? And obviously there's people that like, you know, start doing this shit since before they even have formed memories, right? People whose parents make them sing and act when they're like 3 years old, and that just ends up becoming their life. But overall, the vast majority of people that are successful musicians or entrepreneurs or actors or anything that you might want to become did not start at an age where it was before they could form thoughts. And so they had to, at least on some level, push past this fear of being seen as weird or whatever to do the thing. So we all got to do that. There's never going to be a day where you wake up and you're like, this doesn't feel cringe anymore. Let me get after it, right? Like right now, as I'm recording this, as I'm talking, I'm thinking to myself, boy, oh boy, do I sound fucking cringe. And there's a little voice in my head that's making me not want to post this because of that. But again, I can't let that control me. That feeling is not going to go away. That feeling doesn't go away until you have some success, right? The feeling of feeling cringe when you do something only goes away once you've passed the line. Like every person you admire, again, probably started at a point where they felt cringe, but then, like, you know, do you think, like, I don't know, like, do we think Leonardo DiCaprio feels cringe when he goes to an audition now or something? Like, fuck no, he's Leonardo DiCaprio. This is his job. So he's fine with it, right? Do we think that, like, I don't know, insert famous musician feels cringe when they make a new song or start writing lyrics or whatever, or make the first version of a song, right? No, even though it might not sound amazing, the thing is they don't feel cringe anymore because they've gotten past the point where like this is them, this is their profession, this is what they do. They just know it's a part of the process, and so they feel no shame around doing that. You know, do the guy, like, I don't know, the dudes who like used to be super skinny, super fat, who go to the gym and now are like buff and ripped and shit, do they feel cringe when they go to the gym or whatever? No, because I mean, obviously they look different now, but they're used to it. They know this is what they do, right? And then, I don't know, there's a guy who like talks to, you know, who actually goes up to the girl he finds pretty or whatever, and who might get rejected or not. Does he feel cringe? Like a guy who's used to doing that, does he feel cringe when he goes up there and he gets rejected or whatever? No, because he's used to it. There's a line you got to cross. There's a certain number of repetitions or a certain number of success you need to achieve before that feeling goes away, but otherwise that feeling will never go away. And the thing is, life can be so much more comfortable if you never go after that feeling. If every time you feel that, you back down, right? That's what most people do. That's what I've done my entire life up to this point. That's probably what you've been doing, right? Life can be so fucking comfortable. Life is so comfortable for me right now. Literally no reason to be doing this YouTube shit. No reason besides my own ambitions. Life is so comfortable. This is causing me more discomfort right now than it is causing me any kind of satisfaction or relief. Life is always more comfortable when you're not doing the thing that scares you, but it would be so much less satisfying in the long term. Like I said, right now I'm not feeling any satisfaction, but I know that I think right now I'm already in a bad spot to be starting YouTube. Right now I already think, not a bad spot, but right now I already think that I should have started when I was like 16 or 18 or whatever, right? Like, even though I've wanted to do it since I was 8 years old, I can excuse and cope and be like, you know, maybe it's good that I didn't stay consistent when I was 10 because otherwise I would have had a weird childhood. But there's no logical reason for why it would have been better for me to start now than at 16 or 18, right? And I already think that's bad enough that I've lost that amount of, you know, headway to have started earlier. But now imagine if I let this fucking fear control me until I was 25 or 30, right? I'd be in so much of a worse spot, especially because the older you get, the less free time, the less, like, you know, right now I like a lot of responsibilities. Chances are if you're watching this, you're around my age, you probably don't have kids or like a full-time job, or if you do have a job, it's not like too stressful. You're not too deep into it, right? You don't have a lot of bills to pay for and shit. if I or you, if you're around that age range, wait longer to do the thing, then we're going to be in a worse spot when we start the thing. The longer you take to start the thing you want to do, the worse it is. And that's literally for everything in life. Like, unless you're talking about, I don't know, doing some shit during a recession or something. Like, maybe don't buy a house when interest rates are super high and in the current market, you know, maybe buy it in the next crash or whatever, right? But for most things in life, which are basically just their outcome depends on your personal effort and your personal ability to get the thing done, the longer you wait to start, the worse it will be for you. It's pretty much universal. Even in health outcomes, even in stuff that's not even like an outwardly measurable thing like YouTube success or money or whatever, right? Trying to get a better physique when you're older is obviously harder than when you're younger. Trying to lose weight when you're older, whatever, is obviously harder than when you're younger. And also, people don't talk about this, but the social pressure to not do a thing gets stronger as you get older, right? Like, if you start a YouTube channel when you're like 16 or 20, the thing is you'll feel the cringe, but most people probably aren't gonna like ream you for it, because they'll be like, you know what, whatever, you're like fucking 20, you're supposed to be rebellious. I mean, not that starting a YouTube channel is rebellious, but you get my point. People have more acceptance for you doing a bit of like unusual shit the younger you are. But then if you're like 30 and you want to start your YouTube channel, you finally get over that cringe, then there's going to be some real societal pressure for you to not be start the YouTube channel. People are going to be like, what the fuck are you doing? You're fucking 30 starting a YouTube channel or some shit, right? So moral of the story is just don't let your fears control your life. Don't let cringe control your life. And again, right now, I'm feeling such a strong urge to not post this video because I feel like I said some pretty cringy stuff. But I'm going to force myself to post this because I need to get over that fear. It's already controlling me. I started making videos, I think, like my first... Let me check, actually. I'll probably cut this out. Okay, so my first video I did a month ago, basically a month ago. And I told myself I'd make one video per week, or one video every few days. And to be honest, right now I'm on track for that. I started a month ago, I have 5 videos up. So it's not that I'm not on track for that, right? But I can already feel it slip. I can already feel it slipping. I have, between these 5 videos, at least 5 videos where I actually recorded the audio and then I recorded the background gameplay, and then I just never ended up finishing the video. And most of that was because of the fear of appearing cringe, right? I think a lot of us cope by saying, no, that's not why. By trying to say like these logical reasons for why they don't do stuff, right? But, I mean, at the end of the day, bro, like, if you were assured that when you go, like, if you want to start a business and God came up to you and was like, yeah, you're 100% going to make this money or whatever, you're 100% going to succeed, and nobody's going to think you looked, you know, you're weird or whatever for doing it, you do the thing. Like, right now, if God came up to me and was like, hey, you're gonna get 100k subs if you just keep going for like a year or whatever, I'd be like, oh fuck, nice. But it's the uncertainty that makes you scared, because the uncertainty makes you think I might be embarrassing myself, looking cringe, being weird, putting all this effort and shit when it's like really hard because you don't have the skill yet. I might be doing all of that for no upside, for no benefit. So at the end of the day, all that the fear of being seen as cringe by others is a fear of failure. Because if you knew you were going to be balling out after the initial period of cringe, you'd probably do it. What you're really scared of is that you're not going to end up succeeding in the end. Or at least that's for me. I keep saying you, but I'm not a guru. I don't know. Maybe you just generally don't like cringe stuff. I don't know. But yeah, I think that the concept of cringe is always tied back to failure. Because especially even on the other end of things, when people cringe at something you do, like if you're trying to make a YouTube channel and people cringe at it at the beginning, because obviously, I mean, the videos might be shit or whatever, but when people cringe at you at the beginning, it's because they know you're not really successful most of the time, right? They don't expect you to succeed. But if they knew that like you were guaranteed to have like 1 million subs in a few years or whatever, they probably still talk shit, but you know, they wouldn't talk shit with so much chest. You know what I mean? They wouldn't be as confident in talking shit to you, because it's like, yeah, right now it's cringe, but fuck, he's gonna be living the dream soon. So yeah, maybe just get your shit together. Maybe just stop letting cringe control your life. It's really not that bad. You only have one life. You just don't want to be the fucking guy, bro. You do not want to be the guy on his deathbed that says he wish he tried. I think it's way worse for you to get to your deathbed and say you wish you tried to follow your dream, but you didn't because you were too scared, rather than say, hey, I tried, turns out it wasn't for me, I failed, but whatever, right? Like, give you another example for this. Think about the amount of people that want to be actors or something, right? Isn't it some crazy number, like millions of people move to Los Angeles or something to become actors? And obviously, like, a very small amount of people can be, like, actors that live like a living wage off of being actors. And then a very even smaller amount of those can, you know, become actors that make millions, right? The famous people we know, right? It's kind of like the NBA, right? Like what, like 1% of people make it to D1 basketball or something, and then like fucking only 500 dudes are in the NBA. So it's like 0.01% or whatever of D1 players make it to the NBA. In both those scenarios, right, the chances are that you are probably going to fucking fail, statistically. But it is way better, in my opinion, to be the guy who goes to Los Angeles, tries to become an actor, fails, and then just ends up living their life, ends up living a more normal life. Maybe they do something kind of related to movies, maybe not, but the point is they tried and they know that they just could not do it. It wasn't for them. Either they generally didn't enjoy it when they got there, maybe they just failed, maybe they just genuinely weren't good at it, but the point is they tried. They tried and they failed. They looked cringe. Like, think about it. Moved to a whole new city or whatever, probably told their family, probably told everybody they knew they were going to be famous or some shit. Go to LA, fail completely, and then they got to swallow that shit up and like come back and be like, I fucked up. At the end of that guy's life, I think he's going to have less regret about that in specific than the guy who always wanted to be an actor but was too fucking pussy to try. I think the guy who's too pussy to try is going to get to the end of his life, and a small part of him is he's going to be like, I regret not trying. Because it's the what if. If you try and fail, then you will know. There is no what if. If you try something and you either find out you generally actually don't enjoy it, or you're not cut out for it, for whatever reason, if you fail at it, it closes the loop in your brain. But if your entire life you have this nagging feeling, this nagging desire to do something, and no matter what, you don't do the thing, the loop has never been closed. And all you're going to feel is resentment and a what if. And again, it gets harder the older you are to do the thing. So basically, you need to lock in sooner than later. We need to lock in sooner than later. I'm talking about you out here. No, we, bro. We got to lock in sooner than later. Because we do not want to be the guy regretting not doing the thing. We want to be the guy that hopefully succeeds, but worst case, we want to be the guy who can at least say, fuck it, I tried and I failed, right? If I fail at this whole YouTube thing, probably gonna be fucking sad. Why am I? But fuck me, man. Oh my god. I'm not cutting that out. Anyways, if I fail at the YouTube thing, I'm probably gonna be very sad. But I'm not gonna regret it later. Like, if I genuinely give YouTube a try. The thing is, I mean, YouTube maybe is a bad example, because it's the kind of thing where really you could do it for years, even if you don't pop off, because especially the kind of videos I make, they don't take a lot of time. So you could live a completely normal life and do YouTube, right? But whatever. The point is, if I fail at this, and for some reason I stop because it's a complete failure and I just realize I'm not cut out for it or whatever, I would feel less regret than if I never tried. And even putting regret aside, if I never tried, it's like you're edging yourself. You're going to keep I'm going to keep thinking about the thing. I'm going to keep thinking, maybe I should do YouTube someday. Maybe it'll work. Maybe this, maybe that. And then eventually you die and you're like, fuck, I should have done it, because you realize now you generally can't do it. But if you fail, it's a gift. Failure is a gift compared to the absence of the attempt. Because if you fail, you can be like, yeah, no, that didn't work out. So then you'll stop thinking, what if? Because you'll know, nah, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So yeah, bruh. Go out there and fail faster. Be cringe. Be as cringe as possible. I mean, shit, being cringe makes you a lot of money nowadays. So yeah, I might have to start being cringe. Alright. If you made it to this point, thank you for watching the video. I appreciate you. Have a good day. Bye.